Good morning, St. Francis. It is Wednesday, June the 16th, 2021, Wednesday of the 11th week of the year. Coming to you once again from the berm that fronts Leesville Road, right over there, Leesville Road, right across from the shrine to St. Ignatius, which is over my left shoulder as I'm filming, maybe be over my right shoulder if you view this video. This grove of pine trees that's very beautiful along the side of our church, right over there, again, over my left shoulder or my right shoulder, depending on how this looks when it is being viewed. So today's readings on this glorious morning here in Carolina, 2 Corinthians uses that great line, "The Lord loves a cheerful giver." Sometimes that line is used to extort money from people, or to force them to give, or to force them, to be contributors to something that they may not have first wanted to be contributors to. That is an abuse of that line. It should not be used in that way. What Jesus is talking about, what Paul is talking about, in again trying to spread the message to the Corinthians of the gospel, is that service is about who and what we are as human beings, not just as believers. That it is in our nature as human beings to serve one another, to give of ourselves. And it's not just financially. It is of our time, it is of our effort, of our concern, of our resources, of our ability to stand by and walk with each other and journey with each other. To some degree or another, all creatures can share what they have in one way. But we, as the pinnacle of creation, as human beings, are asked to share more than just things, material things. It is about sharing who and what we are as human beings. Because in that sharing of who and what we are, we enter each other's lives, and thereby entering into that glory that is God, that exists in and through each other's lives. That is paired with Matthew 6, again, which is another reading that we hear. It is the reading, the gospel reading that we hear on Ash Wednesday, about what it means, to be a person who demonstrates her or his faith in the world. And the idea is subtleties. Again, we are not ever called to be people who stand out before others, again, who blow horns in front of each other to see how much we give or how well we pray, or all these other kinds of things. We are not called to be people who work to gain the admiration or the adulation or the respect in many ways even, or the notice of others. Christianity is subtle. Christ was subtle in the things that he said and the things that he did. He was only sometimes very upfront and very forthright, again, with those who were arrogant, with those who felt as though they had all the answers, with those who felt as though they did not need to be challenged, and they were the ones who only could challenge. That kind of understanding has no place within the gospel, has no place within those who call themselves brothers and sisters of Christ, sons and daughters of God. The subtlety of our faith is what makes our faith powerful. It's what makes our faith capable of touching lives of human beings. That when you least expect it, or when you have forgotten all about it, faith, it reveals itself as a help, as a support, as a guide, as something that nurtures us in our becoming the human beings that God has created us to be. It is always that sense of subtlety that is meant to mark who and what we are as believers. To do anything else, in many ways, jeopardizes the proclamation of the gospel, the proclamation of the reign of God. God is not some kind of bombastic deity who demands to be heard, who demands to be known, who demands to be respected and adored and worshipped. Our God is that subtlety that basically comes upon us when we are in desperate need, perhaps, of the subtlety of God to walk with us and journey with us. To be aware of that, to be knowledgeable of that, to be ever vigilant for that subtlety revealed in our midst is one of our responsibilities, is one of our duties as Christians, as believers, to perform in this world. May the Lord give you peace.